Hello everybody, and welcome back to East, the Memories of Celceta. Yeah, this looks pretty familiar. I said, this looks pretty familiar. Do you hear voices often at all? Well, who am I kidding? We know he does. Yep, that's what Lemnos was talking about. Look, just let him follow his dreams. Only one thing to do, follow the dungeon. Wonder what's eating Karna, though. So anyway, this is actually a new music piece. This wasn't in any other version of Ys 4. Get what it's called, though. Like, I know the names of pretty much all of the original Ys 4 tracks, but a little spotty on the new guys. Oh, that looks like progress. Anyway, I'd like to apologize right now for the length of this video. You see, I underestimated when I'd actually get to save as far as certain sequences are concerned, and forgot that one of the sequences lasted longer than I had expected. And by the time I realized that I had passed the point where I should have stopped, it was already too late, and it's like, well, might as well keep going. So that's why this video is as long as some TV episodes. And I'll just be taking those. Let's see. Ooh, they do all kinds of stuff. Yeah, the fact that we've got 2 water or water-adjacent dungeons already, I kind of wish they didn't do that. One is enough. Dawn of Ys had one, and that was more than enough. And now we're on fire, too. Yeah, these little goblin-like dudes, they can shoot fire arrows or whatever. These little slime slug things can freeze you. And there's just all kinds of general nastiness going around. Let's see, and what does Luke's guy do to you? Oh, I'll find out soon enough. I'm probably going to be hit by them sooner or later. Oh, it looks like they inflict heavy. Wonderful. Yeah, heavy was something introduced in Ys the Ark of Magician. And I can't say I'm feeling pretty great about it being around here. The thing is, Mask of the Sun was the game that actually introduced status ailments to the Ys series. And I kind of wish it hadn't done that. But hey, I guess if you're an RPG, you gotta have status ailments. And if you're an East game, you gotta have the Spirit Cape. It's possible to miss this item, by the way. The Spirit Cape allows you to regenerate hit points anywhere. It's not as powerful as Adol's photosynthesis, but the fact that you can even do it is a huge step up from being not able to do it. Yeah, I think the regeneration rate is like half as much, but we'll be able to fix that eventually. Oh! Thank you, Karna. Maybe there's a quicker way to switch artifacts and I just forgot. So we're just gonna poke around and see what the ups are. Oh, now all of us are heavy. Well, thankfully these aren't as, well, quite as debilitating as the status ailments we had to deal with in the Card Chronicles. Now let's see if this looks like progress. Yeah, the thing about dungeons in these later East games is that you really have to start thinking about what looks like going forward and what you might miss, because there's a ton of stuff you can miss. In earlier East games, you weren't even allowed to go forward without really grabbing everything in every chest before moving along. The only exceptions were maybe like the 2 or 3 healing potions that were in chests in like East 1 or East 2. Oh yeah, a small note about the Goblin guys. They tend to have super armor on their melee attacks, so be ready to guard, unlike me. Let's see, how many... Oh, I actually have quite a few potions. And a new sword for Adol. The thing about Falcom's dungeon design is that outside of games that were like all dungeon, like say the original Dragon Slayer or Dragon Slayer Xanadu or, well, Legacy of the Wizard, Falcom dungeons tended to be pretty short, even though in their more traditional turn-based JRPGs like the Dragon Slayer series. And that's not something that I really remember changing until like later in the 90s. Someone who's played the earlier Legend of Heroes game notes might want to correct me on this sort of thing, because I haven't played those. The Legend of Heroes games I've played are 1 and 6. Now I haven't played Trails of Cold Steel or Trails of Blue or Trails of Zero yet. I wonder if you could call it irony that the games that the RPGs that I choose to play as I get older are ones that are more, well, demanding action-wise. That worked. So anyway, I went all the way back because I realized there was a little room that I missed, and we're gonna see what's around here. See if it was worth coming all the way back and everything. Ooh, those are some pretty high-level materials. I think they might be needed for a quest at some point. New skill for Kana, but not one that I'm actually interested in using. And I completely whipped the napalm shot. Go me. Yeah, I also seem to be gravitating towards action RPGs where you control the whole party. And the reason I'm sticking with Carnage here is that I don't want to lose at all this deep into the dungeon. Wait a minute, why are they still splitting? Okay. Chug another potion and off we go. I think the truth of it is that action RPGs, for the most part, can't really afford to be like 100 hours long. They can't afford to be like Trails in the Sky or whatever. Because I think the reason for that is because the actual pacing of the mechanics demands a faster pacing of the story. Because, like I said earlier, I finished Kingdoms of Amalur, which is a pretty action RPG, but it was really too long for its mechanics to bear. It had probably one of the great wackadoodle RPG hero plans, but as far as the actual game went, I think it might have been 20 to 25% too long for what its mechanics actually offered. I think you can actually do a lot more with RPG battle mechanics in a turn-based format than you can in real time. But just because you can do more doesn't necessarily mean you can do better. Like, Romancing Saga 2 has a ton of mechanics, and that game is a hilarious mess. I love the game, but it has problems. That looked like progress to me, so we're going to do some more exploring. I could be completely wrong, though. Oh yeah, I was completely wrong. That's progress. And we all got heavied anyway. Good job, me. All this talk about game length made me think about things back in the late 90s when RPGs would start getting absolutely reamed for being too short. Like, it was one of the big complaints about Parasite Eve. And I guess it had the misfortune of coming around in the era of the Mega RPG, like Xenogears, and we were starting to get the first Persona games. And I think shorter games in general might still get a bit of a bad rap. I mean, Metal Hero Revengeance, a playthrough of that is like, what, 6 hours? But it's one hell of a 6 hours. And before anyone asks, I won't be doing Revengeance for this channel. Chip and Ironicus already did the much better one. New skill for Ozma, always good. Yeah, the thing about the expanded party in this game is that while I appreciate all of the party members, the fact is you can do a lot with just Adol during Karna. And Karna makes this boss quite a bit easier. Okay, so there was a centaur boss in Mask of the Sun, and that guy was a bastard. This guy, a bit less so. So you need to take out all his legs, and that'll knock him down enough for you to actually start dealing damage to him. Once his floor opens up. Remember your guards, everybody. They are extremely strong. After one of the post-game fights in Knights of Azure, I will never forget the guard button again. And down you go, sir. Okay. When you're getting down to about 40% health, he will go into phase 2, which means his core is always exposed, but you can't really reach it. You have to wait for him to do something to put it within reach of your attacks. And that's not really happening right yet. This is where Karna comes in. Yeah, he doesn't stay down for very long, so you might as well not bother. I mean, I'm gonna try. I did try here. But Karna can reach the core without the boss being laying down or whatever. And that all tripped on the fire. Wonderful! Then I remembered, hey, I have a whole bunch of skill points. I should probably start using them at some point. But yeah, if you want to make things just easier on yourself, take Karna. This, by the way, went a lot better than the first time I fought this boss. Because the first time I beat this guy, Karna was the last person standing. But hey, we out. We are somewhere. Somewhere there are, or at least were, people. Maybe? Indeed it is. There's only one tree that huge in the forest. Yeah, you and me both, Durin. Okay. What's what? So what's the problem with the gravestone? Oh! This trip down Adol's memory hole just keeps getting stranger. I don't remember dying. Yeah, that's pretty unlikely. Yeah, because all this is pretty well kept. Tell me more. Huh? But this is what Adol had marked on map. Oh. So, how did he get here? Indeed, everyone knows that Adol would take the most dangerous route possible. Huh. That's not a bird. Yeah, what hobbyist is screwing with us?
One day, I intend for mankind to take to the skies. Just like this, on wings of their own creation.
Hold on.
Yeah, this is getting stranger by the minute. Yeah, there's gotta be somebody nearby. Yeah, just one thing I wanted to check. Because a lot of the times when developers put graveyards in their games, there are usually a bunch of other messages written on the stones, and that's all the way back to, like, Ultima 5 or Final Fantasy 1. Okay, monsters pretty dangerous now, because we don't actually have the equipment for this area. So we're going to do a lot of exploring. Oh, there's a town. Yeah, let's take a closer look at that thingamajigger. What's a tower? Maybe he's been this way already. Yeah, one thing I'm fine with this new approach to Ys game design is the way they do cameras and the 3D map, which means you get actual vistas. Which I think is kind of important to adding to the whole adventure thing that Ys has going on in general. Now let's keep poking around. I remember this area of the game pretty well, so I have a good idea where everything is, so we won't spend too much time poking around. Well, that's big. Yeah, we can't beat that. Red chest. Give your contents to me. Yes. The second warrior seal item. Should probably equip that sometime. Oh, I'll eventually get around to it, I'm sure. Okay, what's over here? Side monsters? Okay, so the tablets are temporary stat boosting items that you see in pretty much every RPG. However, I don't believe they started showing up in the East games until East 7, or maybe it was even this game. I don't remember enough about East 5 to remember if they showed up there. But hey, levels for everyone. Granted, levels don't mean quite as much for your stats in this game as they did in earlier East games, but they're always appreciated. And one of the things I'm going to be trying to do more in this playthrough of Memories of Celceta is use the characters that I may have neglected to play around with in my first time through the game. Like, I'm going to be using more Ozma and more other characters. Hello, Monument. Well, they do a lot of thinking. Oh, by the way, this segment of the game is where Karna becomes peak barbarian. There's a lot of stuff that Karna has not heard about ever, apparently. Oh, thanks, Doran. Alright, what do we do this time? Let's see what the troubles are today. Oh! Oh! So, they're the ones who think Adal got killed. This is just great, by the way. I don't think there's anything quite like it in other parts of the series. Well, you're colorful. Hi? Let's see how long we can play along with this. It's gonna be great. And it took like 5 seconds.
Oh, I see. You've lost your memories.
Oh!
Well,
So that kind of thing happens around here.
Let me introduce myself again. I'm Kalilica. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And no answers. Because of course Adol does that sort of thing. Adol rarely gets old. So, Kalilica is a completely new character. She has no equivalent in any other version of Ys 4. And this is the town of Highland, which first appeared in Mask of the Sun. In the earlier versions of Ys 4, Lisa was the only important character in this town, but this version makes the mayor more important and adds Kalilica. How exactly did we supposedly die? I have so many questions. Oh, okay. That's fair. Amazingly, Durin is correct. Despite Adol's ability to wreck anything sea-going, anything water-going, in fact, Adol does not, in the end, die of drowning. Oh, Eldiel! This is gonna be fun. It's true, they think we're a zombie. Sad to say, but Durin is correct. Ozma is also correct. You know, we can't both be right. You know, that's right too. Maybe everyone just loses their memories all over the place around here. Oh, now that's something. What's a paladin? Well, those sound useful. Oh. Oh, they're just hanging out. Yeah, let's just hope for the best. Wonder who that Frida person is. Yeah, it feels like we're getting closer to some kind of truth. But that's going to have to wait until next episode. Be seeing you then, where we continue down the memory path. See you then. Goodbye.